Someone once told you, it's just a dog, or maybe it's just a cat, and something inside you went cold. Not because you didn't understand what they meant, but because they didn't understand what you meant. You celebrate your pet's birthday. You talk to them like they understand every word, because honestly, you're convinced they do. You've turned down plans because you didn't want them to be alone too long. You've cried harder at the thought of losing them than you have at some human relationships ending. And maybe you've wondered if something is wrong with you, if you're too attached, too emotional, too much. If this sounds familiar, I need you to hear something. This isn't about being a crazy pet parent. This isn't about having misplaced priorities. This is psychology. This is neuroscience. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why your heart works the way it does. Let me paint a picture. You wake up in the morning, and the first face you see is theirs. Maybe it's a wet nose nudging your cheek. Maybe it's a furry body curled against your legs. Maybe it's tiny paws kneading your chest. And in that moment, before the stress of the day sets in, you feel something you don't always feel with people: pure, uncomplicated love. You might find yourself talking to your pet throughout the day, not just commands, but actual conversations. You tell them about your day, you ask them questions, you apologize when you accidentally step on their tail as if you've committed an unforgivable sin. You've Googled things like, is my cat depressed, or does my dog know I love them at 2 a.m.? You've spent more money on their food than your own groceries. You've chosen your apartment based on whether it's pet-friendly. You've turned down dates because, honestly, your pet is better company. You might carry photos of them on your phone like a parent carries photos of their kids. You've shown them to strangers. You've described their personality in detail to people who didn't ask. And you felt that tiny sting when someone doesn't react with the same enthusiasm you expected. You plan your schedule around them. You worry when they're at the vet. You've experienced genuine grief when they were sick, the kind of grief people told you was dramatic or over the top. And maybe you minimized your own feelings because you didn't want to seem unhinged. Here's what nobody talks about. You've been judged for this love. Maybe overtly, someone rolling their eyes, someone saying they're not really your kids, or maybe subtly, that look people give you when you call yourself a dog mom or a cat dad, that pause before they change the subject. And that judgment creates a strange kind of loneliness, because here you are experiencing one of the most profound emotional connections of your life, and you're being told it doesn't count, that it's less than, that it's somehow embarrassing. You might find yourself over-explaining, justifying, saying things like, I know it sounds silly, but before sharing something meaningful about your pet. You've learned to read rooms, to filter how much you share based on who's listening. You've wondered if your attachment to animals says something about your ability to connect with humans, if maybe you're emotionally unavailable or hiding from real relationships. You've questioned yourself, even when, deep down, you knew there was nothing wrong with how you love. Here's the truth. What you're feeling is real. What you're experiencing is valid. And the psychology behind it, it's absolutely fascinating. Here's what's actually happening in your brain when you look at your pet. When you gaze into your dog's eyes, or when your cat slow blinks at you, or when your rabbit relaxes in your lap, your brain releases oxytocin. This is the same hormone that floods a mother's brain when she looks at her newborn, the same neurochemical that creates bonding between romantic partners, the same biological mechanism that evolution designed for attachment. This isn't metaphor. This isn't wishful thinking. This is measurable, documented neuroscience. A 2015 study from Azabu University in Japan found that when dogs and their owners gazed into each other's eyes, both experienced a spike in oxytocin levels. Not just the humans, the dogs too. This created what researchers called a positive loop. The more they looked, the more bonded they became, which made them want to look more. This is the same bonding loop that exists between human mothers and infants. Your brain on a biological level does not distinguish between the love you feel for your pet and the love a parent feels for a child. The pathways are the same, the chemicals are the same, the experience is the same. So when someone tells you it's just an animal, what they're really saying is, I don't understand neuroscience. But here's where it goes deeper. Attachment theory, developed by psychologist John Bowlby, explains that humans are wired for connection from birth. We need secure attachment to thrive. And for many people, that secure attachment wasn't always available with other humans. Maybe your childhood was chaotic. Maybe your caregivers were emotionally unavailable, physically present but not really there. Maybe love felt conditional. Maybe you learned early that people were unpredictable, that their affection came with strings attached, that you had to perform to be worthy of love. And then there was an animal. Maybe it was a childhood dog who was always happy to see you, no matter what. A cat who curled up with you when you cried. A pet who didn't care about your grades, your appearance, your behavior. They just loved you, purely, consistently, without conditions. For many people, pets become what psychologists call a secure base, an attachment figure that provides safety, consistency, and unconditional positive regard. The kind of attachment that was supposed to come from caregivers but didn't always. This isn't regression. This isn't immaturity. This is your psyche finding what it needs to heal. And here's where it hurts. If you grew up in an environment where love was inconsistent or conditional, you may have developed what's called an insecure attachment style. You might find human relationships overwhelming, unpredictable, or emotionally exhausting. You might struggle with trust. You might keep people at arm's length without fully understanding why. But with your pet, the rules are different. Pets offer what psychologist Carl Rogers called unconditional positive regard, complete acceptance without judgment. They don't criticize. They don't withdraw affection as punishment. They don't have bad days where they suddenly become cold and distant without explanation. They're safe. And your nervous system knows this. When you're with your pet, your cortisol levels, the stress hormone, drop. Your blood pressure lowers. Your heart rate slows. Your body physically relaxes in their presence because neurologically they represent safety. This is why the bond feels so powerful, because for some of us, it's one of the few spaces where our nervous system can fully let go. There's another layer here, emotional regulation. Many people who deeply bond with pets are what psychologists call highly sensitive people, or HSPs. They feel emotions more intensely, process them more deeply, and are more affected by the emotional states of others. Living in a world designed for less sensitive people is exhausting. Human interactions can feel like navigating a minefield, but animal interactions, they're simpler, cleaner. They don't require the same level of emotional labor. Your pet doesn't need you to decode their subtext. They don't get offended by things you didn't realize were offensive. They don't carry resentments or bring up old arguments. What you see is what you get. For a highly sensitive person, this clarity is oxygen. And finally, there's the simple but profound reality of being needed. Your pet depends on you completely. You are their world. Every meal, every walk, every moment of comfort, that comes from you. For people who've struggled with feeling unimportant, invisible, or unnecessary in human contexts, this role is transformative. You matter, undeniably, visibly, every single day. Now, let's talk about how this psychology shows up in your actual life. Because this isn't theoretical, this affects everything. You prioritize your pet's well-being over your own convenience. You'll drive across town for their favorite food. You'll sleep in uncomfortable positions because they're comfortable. You'll spend money on their healthcare without hesitation, but deliberate endlessly about spending money on yourself. Their needs feel more legitimate than yours because maybe you never learned that your needs were legitimate too. You feel safer expressing emotions to your pet than to people. When you're sad, you don't call a friend. You curl up with your pet and let yourself cry. When you're stressed, you don't vent to family. You talk to your animal. They've seen you at your lowest, and you don't feel judged for it. They've become your emotional safe space. You experience genuine anticipatory grief. You've caught yourself thinking about the day they'll be gone, and it wrecks you. The thought alone can bring tears. This isn't morbid or dramatic. This is your psyche recognizing how significant this attachment is. You're not overreacting. You're accurate about what this loss will mean. You struggle with judgment from others but don't change. You've been mocked, dismissed, told to get perspective. And while it stings, you don't alter your behavior, because deep down you know this isn't about them. This is about you knowing what you need, even when the world doesn't validate it. You find human small talk exhausting, but could discuss your pet for hours. The usual social scripts feel draining, but when someone genuinely wants to hear about your pet's personality, their quirks, their story, you light up. This isn't shallow. It's that you're finally talking about something that feels real to you. You've chosen your pet over relationships. Maybe a partner didn't like your pet. Maybe a roommate complained. Maybe someone gave you an ultimatum, and you chose the animal. People called you ridiculous, but you knew on some level that anyone who couldn't accept your love for your pet couldn't accept you. Your pet has provided routine and structure that grounds you. Walking the dog every morning, feeding at the same time each night, these rituals aren't just for them, they're for you. In a chaotic world, these patterns create stability. They give your days purpose and shape. Without them, you might drift. You feel more yourself with your pet than in most human company. No performance, no mask, no monitoring yourself for approval. When you're with your pet, you drop the exhausting act of being who others need you to be. You're just you, and they love that version completely. You felt more understood by your pet during hard times than people. They sense when you're sad before you've said a word. They stay close when you're struggling. They don't offer advice or silver linings or toxic positivity. They just be there. And sometimes that's exactly what you needed and never got from humans. You treat pet loss with the weight it deserves. If you've lost a pet, you've likely experienced grief that shook you to your core. And perhaps people minimized it. Are you still upset about that? But you knew this was real loss. This was real mourning, and it deserved to be honored. You struggle to understand people who don't bond with animals. It genuinely confuses you, not in a judgmental way, in a "how is this possible" way, because your relationship with animals feels so fundamental, so core to who you are, that a world without that connection seems empty. Your pet has taught you things about love that humans couldn't. Presence over presence, consistency over grand gestures, acceptance over approval. Your pet modeled a kind of love that was always available but rarely offered by people, and it changed your understanding of what relationships could be. Here's the part that might surprise you. The intensity of your bond with your pet, it reveals something beautiful about who you are. It means you have an enormous capacity for love. Not everyone can feel this deeply. Not everyone can form attachments this profound. You can, and that's not a liability, it's a gift. It means you're emotionally intelligent enough to recognize love regardless of its form. While others dismiss animals as lesser, you see the soul behind the species. You recognize consciousness, emotion, and personhood where others see only biology. That's wisdom. That's sensitivity in the best sense. It means you're brave enough to love something mortal. Every pet owner knows the math. We will almost certainly outlive them. We sign up for heartbreak, and we do it anyway, because the love is worth the loss. That takes courage. It means you value authenticity over performance. Pets don't care about your resume, your social status, or your Instagram aesthetic. They care about you.
And the fact that you thrive in that dynamic suggests you're exhausted by the superficiality of human social games. You crave real connection, and you found it. It means you understand that family isn't just blood. Family is love. Family is commitment. Family is who you choose. Society may not recognize your pet as family, but you do. And that expansion of what family means, that's evolved thinking. And perhaps most importantly, it means you haven't lost your capacity to trust, even if humans have given you reasons to. Here's what nobody talks about. Many people who deeply love their pets are people who have been deeply hurt by humans, betrayed, abandoned, neglected, and yet they still love. They still attach. They still open their hearts to another being. That's not brokenness, that's resilience. Your pet didn't just give you love, they gave you evidence that you could still receive it, that your heart still worked, that you weren't as closed off as you feared. They helped heal you, not by fixing you, but by loving you. And that healed relationship became a template, a reminder, proof that safe attachment exists. Let's address the narratives people project onto you and why they're wrong. Myth: you treat your pet like a child because you can't have or don't want real children. Truth: your bond with your pet has nothing to do with compensation. It's not a substitute or a replacement. It's a relationship in its own right, valid, meaningful, and complete. Many people with children also treat their pets like family. The two aren't mutually exclusive, and your choice needs no justification. Myth: you're avoiding real relationships by pouring everything into a pet. Truth: your relationship with your pet is real. It involves commitment, sacrifice, emotional investment, and genuine love. Dismissing it as not real reveals more about the other person's limited definition of relationships than about you. Myth: you're anthropomorphizing, seeing emotions that aren't there. Truth: science has repeatedly confirmed that animals experience complex emotions, joy, grief, anxiety, attachment, and love. You're not projecting, you're perceiving. Your animal does love you. That's documented. Text overlay: their love is real. Science agrees. Myth: this level of attachment is unhealthy or obsessive. Truth: attachment becomes unhealthy when it's characterized by anxiety, control, and dysfunction. A secure, loving bond that brings joy, stability, and emotional regulation, that's not obsession, that's flourishing. Myth: it's weird to grieve so hard for an animal. Truth: grief is proportional to attachment. If the attachment was profound, the grief will be profound. Minimizing that grief is emotional invalidation, and it says nothing about you and everything about their inability to understand. Myth: you're just lonely. Maybe, and so what? Loneliness is human. Seeking connection is healthy. Finding that connection with an animal who provides consistent, unconditional love is smart, not pathetic. You met a need. That's self-awareness. If you're someone who resonates deeply with everything in this video, here are some things to consider moving forward. First, name what your pet has given you. Not just love or companionship, but specifically safety, routine, a reason to get up, a witness to your life. Naming it clarifies how important this relationship is and helps you articulate it to others. Second, stop apologizing for this love. You don't need to minimize, justify, or couch it in disclaimers. I know it sounds silly, but no, remove that preface. This love is legitimate. Speak about it like it is. Third, surround yourself with people who get it. There are entire communities of people who understand. Pet loss support groups, pet parent forums, people who celebrate pet birthdays without irony. Find your people. You don't need to keep explaining yourself to those who refuse to understand. Fourth, consider what your pet attachment teaches you about your human attachment needs. If you find it easier to attach to animals than people, that's worth exploring, not with shame, but with curiosity. Therapy can help unpack why human attachment feels threatening and how to build more safety in those relationships over time. Fifth, let your pet be part of your healing. not the entirety of it. They can coexist with other relationships. You can love them and work on human connection. It's not either or. And finally, prepare for grief, but not at the cost of presence. Yes, the loss will be devastating, but don't let fear of future pain steal current joy. Be here now. Love them now. That's all any of us can do.
So here's what I want you to take away from this. You're not crazy for loving your pet this much. You're not immature. You're not avoiding life or rejecting human connection. You are someone with a profound capacity for love, and you've found a being worthy of receiving it. The world often tells us that love only counts when it fits certain categories: human, romantic, parental. But love doesn't follow rules. It goes where it goes. And yours went to a creature who gave you something many humans couldn't: consistency, presence, and unconditional acceptance. Remember what I said at the beginning? Someone told you it's just a dog or it's just a cat, and you felt that cold sting of being dismissed. But here's what I need you to hear now. It was never just anything. It was survival. It was healing. It was a relationship that taught you what safe love could feel like. You're not broken. You're not too much. You're not strange. You're someone who knows how to love deeply, loyally, and without apology. And that is something to be proud of. If this resonated with you, if you felt seen, leave a comment. Tell me about your pet. Tell me their name, because they deserve to be known. And so do you.